was trying to drive it. Oh, I'm sure.
I prefer the natural light.
I do
No.
too.
But
It
I
just
gotta-
got darker.
I
all of a
know.
sudden, but I do too. During the day, we rarely turn these on.
Really?
Yeah, we
Keep
pretty
it
much just
natural.
open the windows.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It
nice.
is nice, yeah.
It is better for you.
I do feel like it'd be nice if we could bring the people who work in our basement upstairs. So I told them, I said, it's not just up here. Like, we have this window open a lot of the time.
I think so too.
So some people you'll find Matt sitting up here just working, or the basement is pretty.
We're almost there. Gotta start making lunch.
I could not
You
work in a
don't even
basement.
know what's happening in the outside. I was down there for a while. It was
And you
hard
got moved
to be
on
in the
up?
basement. Yeah, then I moved, but yeah, my first few months I was out there.
You did your time.
I did. And then I was in a little cubby in the hallway here
Oh my
for a
gosh.
few days. Yeah.
Oh my
Michael
gosh.
came by to see me, and I was like, and this is where I'm sitting, in this little closet over here. But
What,
it was
two,
just for
Scott?
a week or
A
two,
lot
and
of
then
stuff
I went
going
down.
on, right?
It's always,
Then you went to the basement.
always
Yeah,
a
then
lot
I
of
came
stuff.
back.
It's really amazing.
It all
Yes.
turned out fine.
I've met with him a bunch of times on the stormwater stuff too, so they're taking
yeah,
the other
right,
calls. and
Everybody
things
ready?
going on, so it's nice to see
Everybody
all
ready?
that coming through.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Ready? Okay. All right. Good. We'll go ahead and get started. Good evening and welcome to our July 24th, 2023 meeting of the Village of Western Springs Village Board of Trustees. To honor our nation's heroes and especially to honor the individuals who serve and protect our community, please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Clerk Timick, will you please call the roll?
Madam President. Trustee Bacon.
Here.
Trustee Chen.
Here.
Trustee Payne. Trustee Lewis.
Here.
Trustee Noraki.
Here.
Trustee Carroll.
Here.
All right, thank you very much. Starting with our agenda, we'd like to move to citizen comments. Do you have any citizen comments? Thank you, lone citizen. And do we have anything via mail or anything else? All right, very good, thank you very much. Well, with that, we will move into our committee reports, and I will begin with Trustee Chen and the Finance Committee.
I have nothing to report from Finance Committee.
All right, thank you. Moving to General Government, Trustee Terrell.
Thank you, Madam President. I have two quick items that we discussed last week. The first is a vehicle purchase alternative. We obtain our village vehicles through an agreement with Enterprise Fleet Management, whereby we spread out the cost of purchasing the vehicles by leasing them for 4 or 5 years. Then Enterprise takes the vehicle back and we lease a new one, saving our costs. After the pandemic, however, there's been a labor and material shortage all across the nation and making it increasingly difficult to maintain this agreement with Enterprise. New vehicles are becoming far more expensive. It takes longer to produce them than it has in the past. We have 4 vehicles that we need for 2023. A police patrol SUV, a police detective SUV, a fire administration SUV, and a public works dump truck. The police and fire SUVs, the 3 of them, they can be obtained from local dealers instead of the Enterprise Fleet Management, which is running into the problem that we have. But the problem is that the vehicles are only available for a week or less. I think village staff went out and saw a vehicle they liked. They came back 2 days later and it was gone. So the problem with that is we have a limit as to how much money that the village manager could spend without it coming before the board, which is, I believe, is it 25,000, 20,000? So what we are proposing here is for this limited purpose only, allow the spending authority of the village manager to be up to $50,000 to purchase the 3 SUVs as they become available. The lease or purchase will still be presented to the village board. It'll just be done retroactively after we've secured the vehicles and can obtain them. We'd still look to have Enterprise leasing for further further purchases, but so far it's been nothing but problems to lease these vehicles, and they're not to be blamed. It's an industry-wide shortage of computer chips and all the way down the line. We can do that for the three SUVs. The dump truck apparently is going to be in excess of $50,000. We have to another way of purchasing that. It came before our committee, we felt it was warranted, and unless anyone has any questions, it'll be on the omnibus tonight. Any questions on that? Okay, thank you. Our second item that we discussed last week is a pay plan update. We heard a lot about the pay plan tonight in the strategic planning session, but you may recall that the pay plan is to allow our employees an idea of what the salary levels will be and what's expected of them, and the hierarchy in the village of expected duties and payment for employees. Last month, we amended the village pay plan to include the public safety analyst as a part-time category in the village pay plan. Our salary scheduled, and again, that's for non-union workers, I should point that out. In July, an employee in the Administrative Services Department of the Police Department resigned, creating a vacancy. What staff is recommending is that the part-time position of the public safety analysis employee be moved from part-time to full-time under the director of the police department. The part-time administrative services position will remain open, although we may hire an additional part-time staff to help with the records to fill that. This came before us, and we thought it was a very wise and prudent way to get another employee within the pay plan, and so I believe that's on the omnibus tonight as well. But other than that, I would have no other questions. I'd have no further report to make.
Item number 6 under omnibus is the motion to give the manager the authority to buy the SUVs.
Okay.
Can we change that motion to be 3 SUVs? And we have it listed for 2.
Oh, 2, okay.
So if it is going to be 3, the memo says 3.
Yeah, it's actually 2 SUVs. One of the 3 SUVs is already procured through Enterprise. So it's 2 SUVs, 1 in police and 1 in fire for 2023.
Okay, so our motion is okay on
It
the
is.
omnibus? Okay, no
Okay.
change in the motion then. Okay,
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
clarifying that.
yep.
Thanks, good catch. Okay, all right, very good. Thank you, trustee Terrell. All right, planning and zoning, trustee Naraki.
Thank you, President Rolfe. I have 2 things tonight. The first being, we will be bringing the Field Park PTO request for temporary use permit, TUP, for Field Park Fit Family 5K race. This will be the 9th year for this event. This race will take place on Saturday, September 23rd from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. This will take place in the Field Park neighborhood. The main request is for assistance from the police for an officer to act as race marshal for both the 5K race and the 1-mile fun run. The other item I have is that we have started conversations related to reinvesting funds from the TIF districts in the downtown building stock to retain existing businesses and attract new high-quality businesses. The village's current economic development policy identified a program to rehabilitate or renovate facades, signs, and other property features as a primary incentive tool along with the TIF districts. The existing TIF budget includes earmarked funds for such a program. The program currently being drafted outlines what improvements would be eligible for funding maximums, the required match of funds from the business, and other procedural aspects of the program. I'll provide more detailed information this fall as the draft program is reviewed by the Economic Development Commission and the committee system prior to being considered by the full board. And that's all from planning and zoning today. If anybody has any questions.
Yep, any questions on those? No? Okay, very good. Thank you, trustee Naraki. All right. All right, properties and rec, trustee Avakian.
Thank you, President Rudolph. I am proposing a resolution to approve the Village of Willowbrook to join us as a CSPAR member, and we're also changing the payment dates for those for them. And hold on 1 second. And the notice of withdrawal provision. Yeah. So our Special Recreation Association, CSPAR, is proposing changes to the joint agreement between the member entities and itself. The 3 changes consist of adding the Village of Willowbrook as a member entity, which would be effective September 1st, 2024. The second part would be solidifying the contribution schedule by sending invoices to the member entities where payments will be due on June 15th and November 15th, so basically just changing the pay dates. And the third part is adjusting the months of notification if a member entity chooses to withdraw from the association. Attorney Jurisic reviewed the agreement and created the proposed resolution. It was reviewed and discussed by the Recreation Commission on June 29th and the Properties and Recreation Committee on July 13th. Staff recommends the approval of the resolution, and the Properties and Recreation Committee recommends placing the resolution on the omnibus for the trustees to consider as a whole.
Great. Any questions on that? Okay.
That is it.
All right. Very good. Thank you very much. All right. Public Health and Safety, Trustee Lewis.
I do not have a report this evening.
All right. Thank you. And we have Public Works and Water. Someone for Trustee Fink? Is anybody?
Yeah, I'll kick it over to Matt.
Okay. Okay.
Absolutely fine. This is a technical one. So,
Director Super, thank you for Public Works and Water report.
In your packet this evening is a proposal and memo from Assistant Director Duffy regarding the modernization of our PLC, Programmable Logic Controller, for the water treatment plant. Just to give you a little bit of background on what that is. So the water treatment plant is run by both a software and a hardware system that communicates with all of our remote sites, including our wells and our towers. That system is known as a SCADA system, and that is both the software and kind of the brain that runs the plant. Tied into that are various logic controllers, which are little pieces of hardware that actually trigger when things turn on, when things turn off, and how the different parts in the plant stage and run water through the plant. The current components that we have are Allen Bradley components, and those are no longer manufactured by the manufacturer. Therefore, they've reached end of life, and we cannot get additional parts for them. We actually budgeted for this project for this year $80,000 with the intent of replacing those in this year's budget. We received a proposal from Concentric Integrations, who's the sole source provider of the software-based system for our SCADA, as well as our firm who maintains and provides our updates. They gave us a proposal that's in the packet this evening for $83,500, so slightly higher than our budget. But in our entire equipment and machinery line item, we do not anticipate a budget amendment for that work. We are recommending that the board consider the approval of the not to exceed $83,500 so we can replace the logic controllers for.
Any questions on that? All right. Thank you, Director Supert. We appreciate that update. All right. And then last, I want to point out that we will be making a couple of appointments to the police and fire pension boards. You probably saw the candidates' resumes, bios. First, there's the appointment of Karen Miller to the Police Pension Board for a 2-year term to expire in July 2025. And then also the appointment of Tom Mitchell to the Fire Pension Board, also for a 2-year term to expire in July 2025 as well. And those will also be part of the omnibus. Does anybody have any questions about those appointees or appointments? Okay. All right, very good. Moving on then, we will move on to the omnibus. The Illinois state statutes allow a municipality to collectively vote on a group of ordinances, resolutions, and other motions, such as awards of contract appointments, etc. This is known as an omnibus vote. All the items contained on the omnibus vote list have been previously discussed by the President and Board of Trustees on at least one occasion, or tonight, and often on several occasions. By placing them on an omnibus vote list, a single vote may be taken to approve them. A trustee may remove any item from the list and have it discussed and voted on separately prior to the omnibus vote. Is there any such request tonight? Did anything come off? Okay. Thank you very much. All right. Trustee Terrell?
Thank you, Madam President. I'd move that the following ordinances, resolutions, and motions as contained on the meeting agenda for July 24th, 2023 be adopted and/or approved under an omnibus vote. Agenda item number 1, approval of the meeting minutes of June 26, 2023, as read. Agenda item number 2, ordinance number 23-3142, approving an amendment to the fiscal year 2023 village pay plan to add the title of Public Safety Analyst. Agenda item number 3, resolution number 23-2743, approving certain amendments to the joint agreement for the Southeast Association for Special Parks and Recreation, at CSPAR, to add the village of Willowbrook as a member, to change the payment dates of the assessments, and to amend the notice of withdrawal provision. Agenda item number 4, motion to approve the appointment of Karen Martin to the Police Pension Board for a 2-year term to expire in July of 2025. Agenda item number 5, motion to approve the appointment of Tom Mitchell to the Fire Pension Board for a 2-year term to expire in July of 2025. Agenda item number 6, motion to waive the competitive bidding process and authorize the village manager or designee to purchase 2 SUV vehicles for use by the village at a cost not to exceed $50,000 per vehicle, based on either dealer government pricing program or at least 2 competitive price quotes from dealers. Bid waiver due to shortage of dealer vehicles inventories, delays in acquiring vehicles from village leasing vendor, discontinuation of the State of Illinois Governmental Vehicle Purchasing Program, and need to purchase vehicles for the village use. Agenda item number 7, motion to approve a temporary use permit for the Field Park Fit Family 5K Race 2023 event, September 23, 2023. Agenda item number 8, motion to approve a release, hold harmless, and indemnification agreement for temporary use permit for the Field Park Fit Family 5K Race 2023 event, that's September 23 of 2023. Agenda item number 9, motion to waive the competitive bidding process and approve the project proposal dated June 22nd, 2023, issued by Concentric Integration of Crystal Lake, Illinois, in the amount of $83,500 for the purchase of compact Logix hardware to replace existing Allen Bradley L23E PLC hardware in order to update the remote monitoring and control equipment of the village SCADA system, which operates the village's water distribution center system. Bid waiver due to Allen Bradley hardware discontinued by and no longer supported by manufacturer and purchased from the village's sole source service supplier of SCADA system equipment and maintenance and warranty work.
Thank you, Trustee Terrell. Do we have a second to that motion?
Second. Oh.
Go for it.
Great, thank you. May we have a roll call vote, please?
President Ruff, just before we vote.
Yes.
Just a point of clarification, in the agenda, the police pension board candidate is identified as Karen Miller, and the omnibus is Karen Martin, which is correct.
It is Karen Martin, yes.
So I just want to make sure that we're voting on this.
Yep, thank you for the correction.
Okay. In terms of the omnibus vote, Trustee Bacon,
Yes.
Trustee Chen,
Aye.
Trustee Fink is absent, Trustee Norek,
Aye.
Trustee Lewis.
Aye.
Trustee Carroll.
Aye.
President Rudolph.
Aye.
The ordinances, resolutions, and motions containing the agenda dated July 24th, 2023 are hereby adopted or approved.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to our reports, the monthly financial report. Trustee Chen, please.
Thank you. Yes, this includes some late-breaking news from Director Mastodona in regards to the second installment of the property tax disbursement. Okay, so the general fund maintained a surplus at the end of June due to the collection of motor vehicle license fees and other taxes. The county also distributed about 55% of the fiscal year 2022 levy. The anticipated due date of the second installment of property taxes is expected to be December 1st, 2023, instead of August 1st. Staff will be monitoring any news of this date as it plays a vital role in cash management. Sales tax collection and the local government distribution fund distribution continue to be in line with budget projections, with just over 50% of budgeted amounts being collected. The water and sewer fund had a deficit at the end of May, but most of that is attributed to the encumbrance of approximately $1.7 million for the water meter change-out program, which is set to begin in September. Consumption billed in June, covering the period March 15th, 2023 to May 15th, 2023, was 11.93% higher than the consumption billed for the same period last year. And the IPOPIF statements for May were not available for the May financial report, but the village's portion of the fund decreased 1.33% in May and increased 3.19% in June. The trailing 12-month return at the end of June was negative 2.03%. Back, do I make a motion?
Yes.
to accept the June 2023 financial report, or I make a motion to accept the June 2023 financial report as presented. Is there a second?
I second the motion to accept the June 2023 financial report as presented.
Thank you, Trustee Lewis. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Bacon.
Aye.
Trustee Fink is absent. Trustee Naraki.
Aye.
Trustee Tiara.
Aye.
Trustee Lewis.
Aye.
Trustee Chen.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. All right. I do not have a report tonight, so I'll move on to Village Manager Bear.
Yes, I just have a couple of things. I want to ask Director Seibert to give a quick update on the water meter replacement program that Trustee Chen just referenced.
Thank you, Manager Barr. So the Village's water meter replacement program is moving forward. We're actually anticipating to start the first phase in August. Letters are going out to residents in the Old Town North subdivision this week. We actually sent out a rave call via phone, text, and email for those residents who signed up to it to notify them today that they should be receiving those letters. That meter program is going to be conducted by Water Resources, the contractor who the village is working with. When residents receive the letter, they'll get a phone number on it. They'll need to call Water Resources to schedule a time for a plumber to come into their home and replace the new meter. The replacement is very quick, takes about 30 to 45 minutes, and those employees from Water Resources will all have IDs on them. If there's any questions, we have information on the village's website under our water meter program. So it's wsprings.com/water meter program, and you can certainly call the Municipal Services Department at extension 205.
That's obviously big news that we're getting going on that. I also wanted to give a quick update on the stormwater utility fees and the July water bill. So I'm going to ask Director Bernacki to, Deputy Manager Bernacki, to give a quick update on that.
Thank you, Manager Bayer. As a reminder, the first utility bills for the stormwater utility fee have gone out. They went out this July, about a week ago, for digital bills, and then paper bills are starting to arrive in the mail today and a little bit over the weekend, probably on Friday too. The billing run for Western Springs, there's two different bill runs, the north side and the south side, and this was the northern run, so everything roughly north of 47th receives the July bill. Everything else south will receive the August bill. So again, those bills have gone out. Those are bi-monthly bills. The rates we show online do show monthly rates, and we have made a note on the website that the actual fee you'll see on the bill will be a bi-monthly fee, so it's 2 times what the monthly rate is. But again, that annual fee doesn't change. That's still the same, so we do reference that as well. There's plenty of information on the village's website at wsprings.com/stormwaterutility. There's a timeline of when this was discussed, and what Tower Topics articles have included information on it, and then everything related to the fee, credits process, appeals process, everything you can imagine. So those are out now, and we are working on the August bills. We expect those to go out sometime mid-August as well. So the process is moving along, and the entire community will get their first bills by the end of August.
Nothing else to report.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, Attorney Jurusik, any report?
No report tonight.
All right, very good, thank you. So now we will be recessing to closed meeting for purpose of discussion of collective negotiating matters between the village and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees. Do we need a motion?
We do a motion and a roll call.
That would be my motion, and to read it again, it's to recess for closed meeting for the purpose of discussion of collective negotiating matters between the village and its employees or the representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees pursuant to 5 Illinois compiled statute 120/2(c)(2).
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, then just a
Roll call.
roll call.
Trustee Bacon.
Aye.
Trustee Chen.
Aye.
Trustee Fink is absent. Trustee Lewis.
Aye.
Trustee Naraki.
Aye.
Trustee Tiara.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, very good. We will move into closed session.
Just let everybody know we're going to reconvene.
Good job reading that out on the, good job reading that out on the bum meeting.
Convened to take action on the item, on the agenda item, and then to close out.
We're good? Okay. Now that we are back in open session, I would have motion to approve resolution number 23-2744, authorizing and approving a labor agreement between the Village of Western Springs and the Metropolitan Alliance of Police, Western Springs Police Chapter 456, term April 1st, 2021 to March 31st, 2025.
Thank you very much. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Trustee Rudolph. Trustee Ray.
Aye.
Trustee Chen.
Aye.
Trustee Pinkham. Trustee Lewis.
Aye.
Trustee Naraki.
Aye.
Trustee Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Motion passes. With that,
Then I have a motion to adjourn tonight's board meeting.
I'll second that motion. Or,
yeah.
okay.
And I think we can do a voice vote. Yes. All in
Okay.
favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Great. Thank you. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Like, we just can't get.
You
just
guys,
can't get
no,
it.
you guys got it together.
I still said yes
Absolutely.
the